Adopting a pet can be a wonderful idea. There are multifarious, cute, and fascinating options for domestic animals like cats, dogs, birds, and fish. However, some people aren't satisfied with a regular pet. They want something more extreme, opting for exotic or even wild animals, which end up turning into real monsters. And that's exactly what you're going to see today, as we delve into the stories of 14 people who accidentally adopted monsters that turned their lives upside down. Number 14. Pet python. It's no secret that everyone is afraid of something. For some, it could be spiders or heights, but for others, it may be snakes. In a chilling story, Jiren Hare and her boyfriend Charles Darnell were sentenced to 12 years in prison after the tragic death of young Shaya. The reason? Well, it was their pet python, Gypsy. This couple from Florida owned a massive albino Burmese python, nearly 8 feet long. Normally, this type of snake should weigh around 150 pounds, but Gypsy was badly malnourished, weighing only 14 pounds. On the fateful night, the python managed to escape from its poorly secured enclosure, which was only covered with a blanket. Hungry after not being fed for over a month, Gypsy wrapped itself around Shaya's neck and started to constrict. During the trial, a medical examiner testified that the snake had been trying to eat the child. The prosecution firmly stated that the fault rested not with the animal, but with the adults who had failed to safeguard the girl. The couple expressed that they had never imagined their domesticated snake could cause such a tragedy. However, the jury rejected this defense and convicted them of manslaughter, negligence, and third-degree murder. After serving 12 years in prison, Jiren and Charles are now on probation, but this nightmare will always remain a part of their lives. Number 13. Giant kitten. In Siberia, Russia, something surprising happened. A tiny panther cub, rejected by its mother, found an unlikely family with a Rottweiler named Venza. The panther, named Luna, was born in captivity during a zoo transfer in 2020, and at just 8 days old, her chances of survival seemed slim. But Victoria, a dedicated feline specialist, stepped in, determined to save the helpless cub. Worried about how her protective Rottweiler might respond, Victoria kept Luna and Venza separated initially. Yet, when they finally met, Venza's reaction astonished everyone. She instinctively adopted Luna, becoming her fierce, nurturing protector. The heartwarming bond between Luna and Venza quickly captured the internet's attention, with millions tuning in to watch their daily antics. Despite their unique bond, Luna is still a wild animal with unpredictable instincts, requiring constant care and attention. Some say the panther could one day attack not only Venza, but also Victoria. Number 12. Jared Allen. Jared Allen, a gardener from Minnesota, United States, didn't think twice about saving a kitten he found in pain while working. With no sign of the mother and a storm coming, he decided to take the little beast home. Once home, Jared fed the assumed kitten and introduced it to his family, but he detected something odd. The tiny creature made a loud and unusual noise, far from the usual meow he was used to hearing. Curious and doubtful, Jared did some research on wild feline cubs. To his shock, the kitten had all the attributes of a young bobcat: spotted face, massive paws, and even a short tail. The gardener then contacted the Minnesota Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, which confirmed his doubts. Jared had accidentally adopted a bobcat cub rather than a kitten. Faced with this situation, he gave the animal over to the center so it could receive good care and attention and eventually return where it truly belonged: the wild. Number 11. White tiger. In the world of boxing, few names spark intrigue like Mike Tyson's, but his story goes beyond the ring. In the 1990s, at the height of his fame and fortune, Tyson decided to adopt 3 Bengal tigers, a choice that shocked many and cost him a staggering $70,000 each. These magnificent yet unpredictable predators roamed freely at his mansion, becoming an unusual addition to Tyson's already colorful life. Despite their wild nature, Tyson formed an intense bond with them, even sleeping alongside them and regarding them as part of his family. However, the reality of housing such powerful animals soon became clear. In one frightening incident, one of his tigers attacked a trespasser, resulting in $1 million settlement. Eventually, Tyson came to terms with the risks and acknowledged that these majestic creatures were meant for the wild. He ultimately rehomed his beloved tigers to a sanctuary where they could live safely and freely. Number 10. Coyote Pup. In a rather unusual case of mistaken identity, an American family from Cape Cod unknowingly adopted a lost coyote pup, mistaking it for a domestic dog. The discovery began when a local resident spotted the small, distressed animal wandering near a busy road. Believing it to be an abandoned puppy in need, the man took it home to care for it. However, just a day later, the puppy started showing behaviors that raised eyebrows, leading the family to take it to a wildlife center. Wildlife center staff quickly identified the animal as an eastern coyote pup. Luckily, the Massachusetts Department of Public Health confirmed that the coyote was rabies-free, allowing it to be rehabilitated safely. Now, the young coyote is recovering in a secluded area of the center and will be reintroduced to the wild. This story serves as a reminder of the risks of interacting with unknown animals and the importance of consulting professionals to ensure both public and animal safety. Number 9. Devoured by lizards. In one of the most startling cases on record, 42-year-old Ronald Huff met a tragic fate at the hands of his own pets in the United States. A former military man, Ronald kept 7 massive Nile monitor lizards in his apartment, each stretching nearly 6 feet long. These fierce African reptiles, known for their carnivorous instincts, were unlikely companions in a small enclosed space. Ronald, however, treated them with care, never imagining they could turn deadly. When neighbors hadn't seen him for a while, police conducted a welfare check, uncovering a horrifying scene. Ronald's partially consumed body lay near his apartment entrance, with his aggressive pets lurking nearby. Shockingly, he had been bitten by one of the lizards weeks earlier, causing a severe infection that weakened him significantly. It's thought that this infection, caused by the bacteria in the lizards' mouths, contributed to his end. Weak and incapacitated, Ronald likely tumbled and was subjugated by the starving reptiles. Number 8. Lynx attack. Rachel Hightower, a woman in her 20s, had a terrifying encounter with a monster pet in an upscale neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia. She had been asked to feed a lynx at a private residence, but the wild animal turned on her, attacking with terrifying ferocity. The lynx's owner, who was away at the time, kept a variety of exotic felines, including lynxes, jackals, and servals, all housed in large cages around the property. Despite having these animals for over 30 years as a hobby, his collection had caused issues before. Neighbors reported multiple escapes from the poorly maintained electric fencing intended to contain them. Thankfully, Rachel survived the brutal attack. Her friend, who had accompanied her, immediately called the police, who arrived in time to rescue her and rush her to the hospital. While the Department of Natural Resources confirmed that the owner held all necessary licenses, neighbors were outraged, questioning how many incidents it would take before stricter action was taken. Number 7. Tiger in the concrete jungle. Antoine Yates, a New York City taxi driver, shocked the world when it was discovered that he had been secretly housing a 425-pound tiger in his small Harlem apartment. Yates had brought home Ming, a Siberian Bengal tiger, as a cub, and over the years, the massive feline grew into a hidden menace. His fascination with exotic animals had turned dangerous, with Yates regularly hauling in raw meat to feed Ming, which aroused suspicion among his neighbors. Yet no one guessed the truth, until disaster struck. In September 2003, Yates introduced a black cat named Shadow into the mix, and Ming suddenly became aggressive, attacking his owner. Severely injured, Yates called emergency services, initially blaming his wounds on his pit bull. However, the police soon uncovered the truth. In a tense rescue operation, an officer rappelled down the building to sedate the tiger, who was later relocated to a sanctuary. Yates served 5 months for endangering public safety, while Ming spent his remaining years peacefully in a wildlife sanctuary. Number 6. Tiger attack. An astonishing tragedy struck Palm Beach Zoo in Florida when 38-year-old Stacy Conweiser, known as the Tiger Whisperer, was killed by one of the animals she cared for. The incident, which was the first fatal attack in the zoo's 60-year history, occurred while Conweiser was preparing for a public presentation. As she entered the sleeping area, a 13-year-old Malayan tiger, under her care for over 3 years, turned on her unexpectedly. Despite the rigorous safety protocols, the tiger delivered fatal injuries, and Conweiser was rushed to the hospital, where she died. Following the incident, the zoo temporarily closed and tranquilized the tiger, choosing not to euthanize it, a decision that sparked public debate. While investigations were launched to review the zoo's adherence to safety standards, nothing could reverse the loss of a passionate caretaker. Heartbreakingly, Conweiser had been in her final days at the zoo, preparing for a new role as a food technician. Number 5. Killer whale. What started as an act of adoration for animals ended in disaster for Alexis Martinez, an animal trainer in the Canary Islands. Alexis, 29, thought he was just caring for another animal, but little did he know he had brought home a true monster. In 2004, Alexis began working at Loro Parque in Tenerife, Spain, and his passion for animals made him an enthusiastic trainer. However, on December 24, 2009, this passion turned fatal. During a rehearsal for a Christmas show, Kato, an orca Alexis had trained for years, suddenly attacked. In a shocking twist, Kato dragged him to the bottom of the pool, delivering a crushing blow to his chest that led to severe internal injuries and ultimately his death. The park initially downplayed the incident as an accident, but an autopsy confirmed that Keto's actions were deliberate. Alexis's tragic death stands as a solemn reminder of the unpredictable danger posed by powerful wild creatures. Number 4. Domesticated wolves. Adopting wild animals may seem exhilarating, but as one Swedish animal trainer tragically learned, the risks can be life-threatening. This trainer, an employee at Kolmården Wildlife Park, had raised a pack of wolves from when they were pups and regularly entered their enclosure to maintain a familiar bond. However, on one fateful day, the wolves suddenly turned on her, attacking in unison. Her colleagues realized something was wrong when she failed to respond over the radio, but by then, it was already too late. Recovering her body became a dangerous task for the rescue team, who had to sedate the wolves to ensure their own safety. This tragic event underscored a sobering truth. No amount of familiarity can truly tame the instincts of a wild animal. Even those raised in captivity, accustomed to human presence, can unpredictably revert to their natural behaviors, often with devastating consequences. Number 3. Neil and Tippi Hedren. In the 1970s, actress Tippi Hedren and her husband, Noel Marshall, made the shocking decision to adopt an adult lion named Neil, transforming their California home into an unusual yet dangerous sanctuary. Neil roamed freely, creating moments straight out of a wild adventure. Photos show him lounging in Tippi's daughter Melanie Griffith's bed, sprawling across the kitchen, and even roaring as Noel attempted to work. Though these scenes may have seemed charming, the reality was fraught with risk. Years later, Tippi admitted that bringing Neil into their home was an incredibly reckless choice, describing it as a mistake driven by their naivete. Neil had been adopted in preparation for a film the couple planned, featuring wild animals. The filming was perilous, and the experiences that followed left Tippi advocating for animal rights. She now strongly opposes keeping wild animals as pets, a lesson learned the hard way after living alongside a monster pet. Number 2. Lion attack. British wildlife enthusiast Mike Hodges' commitment to lions nearly cost him his life. In 1999, Mike and his wife Chrissy relocated to South Africa to establish the Marakele Animal Sanctuary. Years of experience raising lions and the close bond with these animals did not shield Mike from the dangers of his work. One day, while investigating an unusual smell in a lion's enclosure, Mike found himself in a horrifying situation. As he attempted to leave, the lion, visibly agitated, attacked him, dragging him into the bushes. Shocked tourists watched, horrified, as Mike fought for his life. Fortunately, he was rescued and transported to the hospital, where he made a full recovery. The attack served as a stark reminder. Even after years of handling these majestic creatures, their wild instincts remain untamed. Mike's experience highlights the constant risks that come with interacting closely with powerful animals like lions. Number 1. Bear on TV. A morning TV show in Russia turned into a scene of chaos when a circus-trained bear named Asia attacked the show's guests live on air. Asia, outfitted in a martial arts costume and muzzled, appeared calm initially. However, the atmosphere quickly changed when a woman sitting nearby startled the bear, triggering an instinctual attack. As Asia lunged at the woman, another man rushed to intervene, only to become the bear's next target. The host and trainer struggled to control Asia, but the bear's strength overpowered them, sending cameras and equipment crashing. While the victims managed to escape with only minor injuries, the incident took a dark turn afterward. Asia was deemed dangerous and euthanized, sparking outrage among animal rights advocates who argued that the bear was forced into a situation it could not control. The tragedy highlighted the ethical concerns of forcing wild animals into unnatural environments for entertainment. We hope this video has given you an insightful look into the dangers posed by wild animals. If you find it thrilling, don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time, stay safe and stay wild.